Please like the video and share it so that it reaches many more people and you get sawaba, or rewards from Allah. This could be a sawabe jariyah or continuous reward for you long after you are gone.
Volume 2, Book 13, Number 35. Narrated by As-Saib bin Yazid. In the lifetime of the Prophet, Abu Bakr and Umar, the adhan for the Jumu'ah prayer used to be pronounced when the Imam sat on the pulpit. But during the caliphate of Uthman, when the Muslims increased in number, a third adhan at Az Zawra was added. Abu Abdullah said, Az Zawra is a place in the market of Medina. Volume 2, Book 13, Number 36. Narrated by As-Saib bin Yazid. The person who increased the number of adhans for the Jumu'ah prayers to 3 was Uthman bin Affan, and it was when the number of the Muslim people of Medina had increased. In the lifetime of the Prophet there was only one mu'adhin, and the adhan used to be pronounced only after the Imam had taken his seat, i.e. on the pulpit. Volume 2, Book 13, Number 37. Narrated by Abu Umama bin Sal bin Hunayf. I heard Muawiyah bin Abi Sufyan repeating the statements of the adhan while he was sitting on the pulpit. When the mu'adhin pronounced the adhan saying, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Muawiyah said, Allah Akbar, Allahu Akbar. And when the mu'adhin said, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, I testify that none has the right to be worshipped but Allah, Muawiyah said, and so do I. When he said, Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah, I testify that Muhammad is Allah's apostle, Muawiyah said, and so do I. When the adhan was finished, Muawiyah said, O people, when the mu'adhin pronounced the adhan, I heard Allah's apostle on this very pulpit saying what you have just heard me saying. Volume 2, Book 13, Number 38. Narrated by As-Saib bin Yazid I. Uthman bin Affan introduced the second adhan on Fridays when the number of the people in the mosque increased. Previously, the adhan on Fridays used to be pronounced only after the Imam had taken his seat on the pulpit. Volume 2, Book 13, Number 39. Narrated by Az Zuhri. I heard As-Saib bin Yazid saying, in the lifetime of Allah's apostle, and Abu Bakr and Umar, the adhan for the Jumu'ah prayer used to be pronounced after the Imam had taken his seat on the pulpit. But when the people increased in number during the caliphate of Uthman, he introduced a third adhan on Friday for the Jumu'ah prayer, and it was pronounced at Az Zawra, and that new state of affairs remained so in the succeeding years. Volume 2, Book 13, Number 40. Narrated by Abu Hazim bin Dinar. Some people went to Sa'al bin Sa'd as-Sa'idi and told him that they had different opinions regarding the wood of the pulpit. They asked him about it, and he said, By Allah, I know of what wood the pulpit was made, and no doubt I saw it on thy very first day when Allah's apostle I took his seat on it. Allah's apostle sent for such and such an Ansari woman, and Sa'al mentioned her name, and said to her, Order your slave carpenter to prepare for me some pieces of wood, i.e. pulpit, on which I may sit at the time of addressing the people. So she ordered her slave carpenter, and he made it from the tamarisk of the forest and brought it to the woman. The woman sent that pulpit to Allah's apostle, who ordered it to be placed here. Then I saw Allah's apostle praying on it and then bowed on it. Then he stepped back, got down and prostrated on the ground near the foot of the pulpit, and again ascended the pulpit. After finishing the prayer, he faced the people and said, I have done this so that you may follow me and learn the way I pray. Volume 2, Book 13, Number 41. Narrated by Jabir bin Abdullah. The Prophet used to stand by a stem of a date palm tree while delivering a sermon. When the pulpit was placed for him, we heard that stem crying like a pregnant she-camel till the Prophet got down from the pulpit and placed his hand over it. Volume 2, Book 13, number 42. Narrated by Salim. My father said, I heard the Prophet delivering the khutbah on the pulpit, and he said, whoever comes for the Jumu'ah prayer should take a bath before coming. Volume 2, Book 13, number 43. Narrated by Ibn Umar. The Prophet, p.b. U.h., used to deliver the khutbah while standing, and then he would sit, then stand again as you do nowadays. Volume 2, Book 13, number 44. Narrated by Abu Sa'id al-Khudri. One day the Prophet sat on the pulpit and we sat around him. Volume 2, Book 13, number 45. Narrated by Amr bin Taklib. Some property or something was brought to Allah's apostle and he distributed it. He gave to some men and ignored the others. Later he got the news of his being admonished by those whom he had ignored. So he glorified and praised Allah and said, Amma Ba'du. By Allah, I may give to a man and ignore another, although the one whom I ignore is more beloved to me than the one whom I give. But I give to some people as I feel that they have no patience and no contentment in their hearts, and I leave those who are patient and self-contented with the goodness and wealth which Allah has put into their hearts, and Amr bin Taklib is one of them. Amr added, by Allah, those words of Allah's apostle are more beloved to me than the best red camels. Volume 2, Book 13, number 46. Narrated by Aisha. Once in the middle of the night Allah's apostle, p.b. U.h., went out and prayed in the mosque, and some men prayed with him. The next morning the people spoke about it, and so more people gathered and prayed with him in the second night. They circulated the news in the morning, and so, on the third night the number of people increased greatly. Allah's apostle, p.b. U.h., came out and they prayed behind him. On the fourth night the mosque was overwhelmed by the people till it could not accommodate them. Allah's apostle came out only for the Fajr prayer, and when he finished the prayer, he faced the people and recited, Tashahhud, I testify that none has the right to be worshipped but Allah, and that Muhammad is his apostle. And then said, Amma Ba'du. Verily your presence, in the mosque at night, was not hidden from me, but I was afraid that this prayer of Tahajjud, might be made compulsory and you might not be able to carry it out. Volume 2, Book 13, number 47. Narrated by Abu Humayd as-Sa'idi. One night Allah's apostle, p.b. U.h., stood up after the prayer and recited Tashahhud, and then praised Allah as he deserved and said, Amma Ba'du. Volume 2, Book 13, number 48. Narrated by Al-Miswar bin Makrama. Once Allah's apostle got up for delivering the khutbah, and I heard him after Tashahhud saying, Amma Ba'du.
I